About brow mapping using stencils. So I actually have some stencils from the Perfect Brow Stencil. When they send it to you, it comes with a little pamphlet, kind of tells you how to use the stencils, directions about the stencil, their information. And these are the 5 styles. We have the soft arch, we have the curve, straight arch, S shape, and then the high arch. So looking at her brows, I'm thinking she's either going to be a curved or a high arch. So I'll pull these two out and kind of compare them. And you can see it's cut out in the stencil right here. And so what I like about these stencils is that, you know, it's kind of 2-in-1. You know how you use the other stencils that are just the ruler across the top and that they have the ruler down the middle. You can actually, if you want to just use this, you can cut the stencil out so you get more 2-in-1. But if you want to use the actual stencil, that's good also. So I think I'm going to go with the higher arch. Let me see. Well, no, with the curved arch. So she's going to be more of a curved arch because you see how she has that little curve right there. And I like these so you can adjust them to fit the person's brow. So we're going to go with the curved arch. And the actual stencil, it's a sticker. And so it peels off right here, which is really cool. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that the brow area is clean of oils and dirt. So we're going to just use a little alcohol wipe to clean her up. Then I'm going to wipe off the excess with a cotton round. So has anybody on the live ever tried a stencil before? Let me know if you've ever tried using a brow stencil before. She has like the perfect eyebrows anyway. All right, so we're gonna brush her up. And like I said, there's several different ways you can use the stencil. If you actually need to just want to use the top of the stencil, you can cut it and just use the top. If you want to just cut this part out and use the nose and the top, you can, but you have an extra additive. Instead of using a regular stencil, you actually have an eyebrow cut out. So we're going to use that today. And then I'm going to just take my brow brush, just kind of brush her hairs, you know, straight to the side. Now, one thing, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a line down the middle of her face. And this is going to be our starting point. Then we take the stencil off and we actually place, you see the stencil has a 0. That 0 is where this line will be adjusted at. So we're going to adjust it right there. Close your eyes for me. At her brow. And this one, as you can see, actually fits perfect. So it's a sticker, so it's on there pretty good. Now, another item you're definitely going to need, you're going to need your black waterproof pencil. And I actually ordered this one with the Perfect Brow Stencil from them also. So you can still mark off your 3 angles, and you know that's the beginning of the brow, the middle of the brow, and then the end. So I'm looking at her brows starting at the 1. So I'm still gonna mark, let me see, the 1 right there. And then her arch is right here at 4.5. So I'm gonna mark that a little bit. I'll mark it a little bit more when we actually take off her stencil, and then I can mark the ends, okay? So what I like about the stencil is that it's quick. It's way quicker than using the regular any of the other brow mapping tools. So I'm gonna just trace outside the stencil, just trace around it. You see what I'm doing? It's quick. Trace the outline of the stencil, just like this, and I'm using the black. And you know, when you're using a stencil, you're not stuck to actually using the shape. If you want to open the stencil up, you can cut it and open it up, or you can just use the bottom if you want to, or you can just use the top if you want to. Like, you're really not forced to use the whole thing, but if one part is like your favorite part, you can just use that part. I personally don't use the opening, the front of the stencil. I always leave mine a little open. Okay, so I'm just going to trace around it, just one pretty much good time. You can see this is a really good pencil. It's soft. It's making my line straight. Okay, so now we're going to take the stencil off. Now, some people work with the stencil on, and that's not a problem. If you want to go ahead, like say you're doing just a brow powder, and I'm gonna just use my brow powder here, my signature brow powder. And say if you were, you know, starting off doing brows, and you wanted the brow powder, you just wanted to fill in the eyebrows, you could actually, turn this way just a second, you could actually go from here and actually fill in the brow. You know, and do your fill-in service. You see that? I'm gonna do it on the other side so you guys can see. You can use the brow powder and fill it in. And this, of course, is my signature brow powder, the Look by Joy. Very pigmented, so you can use that. And then you can highlight around it when you take the stencil off. But brow mapping is not just for microblading or micro shading or permanent makeup. It's for any brow service. So say this is my outline of her brows, and when I take the stencil off, I want to wax it or razor, then I have a guide to go by. So this is great for the, you know, the new person who's starting off. Let you see the brow powder. And so now I'm going to take the stencil off, and you're going to see a perfect line, perfect guide. So here we go. See that? Now that looks amazing. Tell me what you guys think. She has the perfect brows. Like, they're symmetrical. They're full. Your arm hurt? No, no. Oh, look at it. No, I'm looking at it.
Oh, my bad.
So then we're gonna take the white pencil. Now, if you're doing like a fill-in right here, you can go ahead and do the highlight up under the brow. If you're doing the waxing, you can go ahead and start waxing your client. But if you're going to do microblading or micro shading, I would suggest you take the white pencil and just highlight around the brow. Okay. You know, this just gives you an extra highlight when you're working. So I have the black pencil and I have the white pencil. To get the brow pencil and the stencils, you could just log on to the Perfect Brow Stencil. And I have their name right there pinned. So you can purchase it from them. I also wholesale them. I sell them at my store. So I am a retailer for them. So if you want to get them, you can get them. And then if you want to get my brow powder, you could just log on to the Look by Joy, which is my website, and purchase the brow powder. And the model is wearing a dark brown. So this is a dark brown. So yeah. So yeah, it's perfect. I want to make that one. All right. Yep. So to answer your question, beyond the brow, yes. She asked, would the client be ready to numb right now? Yes. So this is the perfect time you can numb her. And I added the white around it so it can make the area pop out even more once it's numb. So you can do from here, you can do, like I said, you can do waxing, you can do tweezing, you can do the razoring. The stencils are not on my website. They're on the Perfect Brow Stencil. Oh, I'm going to use the model's phone and tag the perfect. Okay, so we just, this is the model. So y'all can follow her too. She's gorgeous. But she just tagged the Perfect Brow Stencil. So you can follow them and order the stencils that I use. It comes in a pack of 50. And you can order the white and the dark pencil. So like I said, if brows are your business, this is a great way to start. There's so many other ways to brow map. I do like this way because it's quick. You guys saw how fast I did it. Even though I was talking to you, it didn't take that long. So we got the perfect outline. We got it filled in. If this was a service, you could charge at least $10 just for a makeup fill-in. So $10, $15 right here. And you just put your highlight on. If you want to do the cream highlight, something like this. That we use at the store. These are our highlighting sticks. You use those, highlight it, blend it in, and send her on her way. She'll love it. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, if you have any questions, just send me a DM. I can DM you the where I get my stuff from. Would you recommend numbing before mapping? Yeah, okay, that's a good question. But beyond the brow, she said, would I recommend numbing before brow mapping? And some people do that, but I don't recommend that because if you numb first, as soon as you take the saran wrap off, that's when it starts. So your time runs out. So you still have to numb the person, keep numbing them and numbing them and numbing them through the service. Unless you do something really, really quick like a stencil and it only takes 20 seconds. But I don't like to waste no numbing time because I don't like to keep reapplying numbing if I don't have to. Once you reapply numbing, it makes the skin harder and harder. So if you're doing a pigmentation service like microblading or pigmentation, then it gets harder and harder to work with. So that's why I recommend you do it right before, right after you map. That's a good question. So if any more questions, you guys send me a DM. I'll send you guys the Perfect Brow Stencil. If you don't see it right there, I'll send you their link. I'll send you my link to the stuff that I sell. Once again, we use the Perfect Brow Stencil, the Curve, and we use the black and the white outline, and then I use my brow powder. And for numbing, I would recommend it's 85. It's 2 numbings that I use. I use one for closed skin and one for open skin. I use the Zenza. So I start off with the Zenza. So from here, I will put the Zenza on and put the saran wrap for 45 minutes. And then as I'm working, I use the OPM Part 2. And both of these are on my website. I can send you a link. So just send me a DM if you want to purchase either one of these. This is Zenza and the OPM Part 2, which is one for closed skin, one for open skin. It's my numbing combination that I love. So if you need that link, just DM me. And that's it. So I want to say thank you guys. You can take a closer look at her brows. They are amazing. When I say they are perfect.